Hello, everyone. uh, Today, I'm making the class a little bit early, putting it up on YouTube, and I have somewhere to go. I have to play and make an appearance in the Army today and speak to them. So I won't give a class at 3 o'clock, but I'll give a short class now. I'll put it up on YouTube, and I'll also, God willing, try to make the class in the Chumash. I looked at last year's class that I made. I want to put it up, and it wasn't really so good. I must have been really tired when I made it. So I'll try to remake it now. It's talking about the end of the battle with the angel that Yaakov made with the angel of Esav. Okay, but let's just start off over here. We'll do 10 minutes, put this up, and then I'll come back, God willing. We'll continue. Here's a very interesting speech given by Lubavitcher Rebbe, relevant to the topic that we were just speaking about. What's the topic we were just speaking about? How it is that the Mashiach is hinted at with Yaakov. When Yaakov said to Esav, he sent his messengers to Esav and to tell Esav that I've been with Lavan, I did the commandments, and I have oxes and donkeys. He says here he's referring to the donkey of the Mashiach. So we spoke before, if you remember, that the word for donkey is the same word for physicality, the physical world. And that's the whole thing of the Mashiach, is he's going to be able to properly use the chomer of the world. And here we have a speech about from the Rebbe explaining the difference between the donkey that Abraham used. Remember when Abraham went to sacrifice his son Yitzchak, so he had a donkey that he put his knife on it in the wood. And then afterwards, like 400 years later, or whatever, something like 600 years later, Moses took the Jews out of Egypt, but when he was going down to take the Jews out of Egypt, so he put his wife and his son on a donkey. And it says that Mashiach is going to, one of the options of Mashiach will come either in the clouds or he'll come riding on a donkey. So it says in Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer that it's the same donkey. This is going to be like a 4,000-year-old donkey. Same donkey. Not just, a clone of it. Okay. In the Midrash where it says that when Yaakov was bragging about how he came back with donkeys, that he was really talking about Mashiach, is in that same Midrash, it says that this chamor, that the donkey is the Mashiach, it says it's not understood why Yaakov is hinted at the future redemption with a donkey. So it says in the Gemara, it says that it'll come in clouds of heaven. The Mashiach can come in the heaven. And it also says it'll come on the donkey. It says if the Jewish people are merit, then it'll come on the clouds. If the Jewish people are not meritorious, then they'll come on a donkey. We did this. Come on a donkey. So why is it that Mashiach will come on a donkey? That hints that the Jewish people are not going to have merit. Why would it say that the Mashiach is going to come on a donkey? Ani rochav al chamor. Why? Well, it says, there's a book called Pirkei de Rebbe Eliezer, and it says that this donkey, about which it says that, here we go. It's by Mashiach that he's going to be a poor person riding on the donkey, as this is the same donkey that it says by Moses that he put his wife and his children on the donkey, and it's the same donkey that it said by Abraham that he's going to, it says that he saddled up his donkey to go to to take his son to the Akedah to burn. This, in other words, Abraham, Moses, and Mashiach will just be one continuation of the same topic. Not only will it be the same donkey, who knows why it has to be, who's going to want to ride on a 4,000-year-old donkey, but I guess if there was such a thing, it'll be a pretty big anomaly. I think all the scientists will probably be there to see They can really try to check out its age. But nevertheless, there will be such a thing. Why? Abram, it said he began, it's called 2,000 years of Torah. Moses, he received the Torah from Mount Sinai, and he gave it to the Jewish people. Even though that the sense says he was riding on a donkey, is not talking about him getting the Torah, but it's talking about going down to Egypt to take out the Jews from Egypt. It says he went to, okay. On there, the tachlis, but the ultimate purpose of the giving of the Torah is Moshiach. Moshiach is going to really manifest all the things that it says in the Torah. All the Jews will return to doing the Torah. They'll return to the land of Israel. Everything Torah. And this, nevertheless, is the achiluk. There's a difference. So that's why he stresses that Abraham, Moses, and then Mashiach will be on a donkey, because it's the same thing. The thing of the donkey is the Torah, huh? And the Mashiach is going to be sitting on the. Okay, that makes even less sense. How can the Mashiach is the Torah? The donkey is the Torah. What's going on? Nevertheless, there's a big difference in what they used the donkey for. What Abraham used it for, and what Moses used it for, and what Mashiach is going to use it for. By Abraham, it says that the donkey, he put on it only the wood and the knife. But he himself, he was with what was with Yitzchak, and the others were there. Eliezer was there. So he was Zainen gegangen by foot. But Abraham himself, he went by on foot. The donkey didn't lift him up. No, the eitzim, but only the wood and the knife. It says the things which were helped to carry out his job, because God told him to sacrifice his son. So they were eingelegt. He put them off the donkey. By Moses, it says that he took his wife and his sons and he put them on the donkey. This is when they were going down to Egypt to take the Jews out. His wife and his sons, they were closer to the person than the wood and the knife. But his wife is a helper to him. It's like him, but it's not really him. If you want to say this is only relevant to the lower part of a person, not the essence of the person. By Mashiach, though, it says that he himself will ride on the donkey. What's this thing about the donkey? So it says the whole idea of using the donkey to ride on the donkey and put these different things on the donkey, this is mitzad zayin hoichkeit or vetekkeit ken men an dem chamor nitzuka. It must be that the donkey was something that he needed. Abraham, he couldn't carry the wood on himself, so he needed the donkey. Abraham also, Moses, he wanted to go down quickly, so he took his wife and his children. They couldn't, so he put him on the donkey. So the donkey brings some sort of an elevation. So it is also in the idea of riding on the donkey spiritually. Donkey, the idea of donkey is chamor. This shows on chomer, physical world. In other words, the meaning is, like the Baal Shem Tov said, that if you see your friend's donkey, your friend's suffering under its burden, actually it says you're the enemy, the donkey of your enemy. Anyway, you see the enemy, the donkey is suffering under its burden, so you have to help him. You have to help your friend to unload the burden or put the burden on, whatever it is, you have to help him with the burden. So says the Baal Shem Tov said, this is not just referring to a donkey, it's referring to all the physicality, your physicality. In other words, chomer means, chomer, same letters as donkey, but chomer means physicality, the physical world. This means that by means of refining and using properly the physical world, the chumras, and the mundane aspects of the world, you can come to a higher level than in your soul than you could on your own. Huh? By means of using the chomer, like the donkey can elevate. Okay, how is this going to be? Let's see. As Sukum comes up to a higher level, which you couldn't come to and otherwise. What's the difference between Abraham? Abraham only, so to speak, elevated the physical. Moses was able, by means of using the physical world, he could elevate not just the physical, but also his family, all the things around him. But the most difficult thing is for a person to elevate himself. And that's what Moshe did. That's what Mashiach will do. And that's what God willing we'll talk about when I'll come back from what I have to do tonight. I'll continue the Sikha, God willing. I just didn't want to leave it without anything. So keep tuned in to YouTube.